Hello, 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 and welcome to Starting the Day the Right Way 5-minute devotion for March 26, 2021. All right, it is Friday. Made it through another week, and I just dropped my little guy off. And so when I drop him off at school, there's a circle, and there's probably, I don't know, 30, 40 cars that can fit there. And sometimes we get caught way in the back, and he has to walk further to the entrance of the building. Sometimes we get right up to the front. So as we're pulling up, he's like, "Daddy, I don't want to walk all this way." I said, "All right." I said, I'll stay in the car until, one of the teachers, tell me that I have to let you out." So then he's like, "Well, don't you have authority over me rather than the teachers?" I said, "Well, yes, over your entire life, yes, me and mommy have the authority over you, but we are also in the school now, and they have their own authority, and daddy has to submit his authority to that authority because that's no longer the home, right? That's now school. So daddy, as well as you, has to listen to the rules and regulations, because if daddy stops and says, 'No, I'm not getting out,' that's going to stop all the traffic." So he's like, "Oh, okay, all right." So it was a quick lesson to give him, but it also made me, go back and take a look at some authority scriptures. So in Luke 4, one verse says this. This is when Jesus was in the desert, right? Chapter 4, verse 6 says, and this was Satan talking, "And he said to him, I will give you all their authority and the splendor." But let me back up to verse 4. Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone." So Satan was beginning to tempt him. Verse 5, the devil led him up to a high place and showed him in an instant all the kingdoms of the world. Verse 6 says, "And he said to him, I will give you all their authority and splendor. It has been given it to me, and I can give it to anyone I want. If you worship me, it will be yours." All right. Well, how did Satan get this authority? Way back in the garden, Adam and Eve relinquished their authority and gave it to Satan, right? And Satan has been carrying it all through the ages up until Jesus had come. And then Jesus went to the cross and got that authority back, right? Because he conquered death, hell, and the grave, okay? And Jesus's final words in Matthew 28, 18 said, Jesus came and told his disciples, this was right before he was about to ascend back into heaven, he said, "I have been given all authority in heaven and on earth. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I have given you, and be sure of this, that I am with you always, even to the end of the age." All right. So what power and authority was Jesus walking in? Well, when Jesus was walking this earth, he brought heaven down to earth, right? We saw miracles, we saw signs, we saw wonders, right? He healed the sick, he raised people from the dead, gave people sight, right? And Jesus gives us that same power and authority that we should be seeing here on earth in these days, today, right? In the year 2021. What year are we in? 2021. All right. But why aren't we seeing it? Are we walking in the power and authority that Christ has given us? Okay. And this is going to be a constant learning process, right? We certainly don't have it figured out. Okay. I certainly don't have it figured out, right? I haven't seen anyone raised from the dead yet, but I've heard of people being raised from the dead. Actually, I backtrack that. My wife was clinically dead several times, and I misspoke. I can't believe I misspoke there. But yeah, should have been clinically declared dead according to the meters that she was hooked up to. And but God really brought her, back from the dead. And so this is the signs and wonders that we should be seeing right now in this day, right? Why aren't we seeing it? That's a question between you and God that you guys have to take up. All right. And I'm certainly no expert on this, right? I want to, walk up to people who are in wheelchairs. I want to see them get out of their wheelchairs. I want people who are blind to see. I want people who can't hear to suddenly hear. Okay. I want people to be healed. I want the encounter of the living God, and we should be seeing that. Okay, so let's dig deep into this. Is a very serious lesson that just got started from a simple question from my 9-year-old son. Don't you have more authority than them? Right? So we have more authority. Jesus got it back for us. Don't relinquish it again. Utilize it in your life, utilize it in your communities, in your state, and watch what's going to happen. All right, dig into this. Have a great weekend. God bless.